Good morning, everybody. I'm Shantel Dong. I'm the local MLA, and I'm thrilled to be joined today in my beautiful community by Rebecca Schulz, Minister of the Environment and Protected Areas, and Megan Evans, Executive Director of the Alberta Invasive Species Council. Aquatic invasive species are a serious threat to water bodies like the one behind us and to others across the province. Our government has stepped up to create the strongest invasive mussel species protection program in Canada. Over the last 2 years, thanks to the great work of Minister Schulz and MLA Grant Hunter, we have taken action to keep Alberta 100% invasive mussel free, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Last year, we put in place the highest fines in North America and have increased inspections. And today, we're going to be ramping up inspections even further. This is incredibly important to communities like mine because at the heart of Chestermere is the Western Irrigation District's Reservoir Number 1 just behind us. This is a critical body of water for agriculture to the east of Calgary and to residents who enjoy recreational use on the reservoir, also known as Chestermere Lake. With that, I'd like to welcome Minister Schulz to the podium to deliver today's announcement.
Thank you so much, Emila Young, and good morning, everybody. It's great to have so many guests here with us today, including our canine team, sheriffs and Fish and Wildlife, as well as folks from the Irrigation District 2. Thank you so much for the important work you do and for being here today. Over the last year, our government has stepped up efforts to defend Alberta from the threat of aquatic invasive species. Zebra and quagga mussels may be tiny, but they have potentially huge impacts on our economy and, of course, our environment. Up to $500 million is spent every year to manage zebra mussels in the Great Lakes in Ontario. One study found that if invasive mussels get established here in Alberta, it could cause over $284 million in damages in Lake McGregor alone. And that's not all. Invasive mussels can take over entire ecosystems, kill off native fish, and destroy recreational opportunities. They can alter or even ruin shorelines, lowering water quality and damaging docks and other structures. They can clog pipes, cause boat damage, while also damaging needed water infrastructure that people, businesses, and communities rely on. Every year, provinces and states across North America are seeing the spread of invasive species. Thankfully, Alberta remains zebra and quagga mussel free, but every single summer, thousands of boats enter our province, most from the south or from the east. Just one boat carrying invasive mussels can put an entire aquatic ecosystem at risk. So just like how we have remained rat-free successfully here in Alberta for a number of years now, we're working to do the same with aquatic invasive species. Last year, we established the province's first aquatic invasive species task force, which, of course, MLA Grant Hunter chaired, to find ways to step up our defenses here in Alberta. The task force made a series of recommendations, all of which we wholeheartedly accepted, and today we're acting on the task force's biggest one. Starting June 1st, inspections will be mandatory for boats, jet skis, and all other watercraft entering this province through Alberta's southern or eastern borders. Last year, we also announced the highest fines in North America for failing to stop at an inspection station or for not removing a bilge plug. If you are entering Alberta from Saskatchewan or the United States, you must stop at an open inspection station to get your watercraft inspected. If you're using a road that does not have an open station nearby, then you must report to an open station for inspection as soon as possible when you get home. We are the first province in Canada to make these inspections mandatory for all watercrafts at all times. We are focusing on the south and eastern borders because every year we see major traffic crossing from jurisdictions already flooded with invasive species. These borders are where most contaminated boats get caught. We're opening a record 11 stations across the province this year and hiring more staff to expand operating hours, with one station open around the clock, 24 hours a day. To help Albertans follow the rules, we will also be launching a new proof of inspection sticker. Owners will get the sticker for display once their watercraft has visited a station. This will help us track when and where boaters have been inspected. This is a big step. Again, it's a first for Canada, and we know it will be a transition. That is why we're starting to spread the word now. If you leave the province heading south or east and return, you must get your watercraft inspected when you come back. Starting June 1st, that will be the law. Through this year's budget, we announced $18 million to ramp up our border protections. Work is underway to procure and pilot new equipment to triple the size of our canine teams, which I think Hilo is very excited for, and address all of the task force's recommendations. Alberta has one of the toughest approaches in Canada, again, against invasive species. We're protecting the economy, defending our environment, and saving the province from hundreds of millions of dollars in future damages. Thank you, and I will now pass the mic over to Megan Evans, Executive Director of the Alberta Invasive Species Council.
Invasive species pose a serious and growing threat to Alberta's environment and economy. Whether plants, animals, insects, or diseases, their impacts are wide-ranging and often severe. Current estimates suggest invasive species already cost the Alberta economy over $2 billion every single year. And of course, those impacts are from the species that are already here. Many more species are at risk of introduction, bringing the potential for even greater harm. Preventing invasive species from establishing is the single best way to manage them, because once established, they are far more difficult and costly to control. Zebra and quagga mussels, of particular interest today, are two closely related species that are notorious for being among the most damaging invasive species in the world. In areas where they have already invaded, like most of North America, they permanently alter ecosystems and infrastructure. One of the main issues with them is that they attach to any hard surface, and this wreaks havoc on all of our aquatic infrastructure, clogs water intake pipes, causing millions of dollars in damage and maintenance costs. And they're equally as damaging ecologically. Zebra mussels filter large volumes of water, depleting nutrients and plankton that our native fish and desirable species rely on. This results in an often unrecognizable and permanently altered ecosystem. If invasive mussels are introduced into Alberta's systems, eradication is not impossible, but it's unlikely. And that's why these new measures are so important. Alberta is one of the last jurisdictions that remains zebra and quagga mussel free. But as these species continue to spread, the risk to our waters increases. And boats transported from infested water bodies are the most likely pathway for introduction. And that's why today's announcement, making inspections mandatory for boats coming from these areas, is such a critical milestone. The Alberta Invasive Species Council supports the proactive action to strengthen prevention measures and introduce mandatory boat inspections to keep Alberta invasive mussel free and to protect our waters. Alberta has a reputation for being tough on invasive species. We are the world's largest rat-free jurisdiction, after all, and Albertans are proud to have maintained that status for 75 years. With strong action like this, we can do the same for invasive mussels. And as we approach boating season, remember to clean, drain, dry your gear, have your boats inspected, and if you see something suspicious, report it. Together, we can protect Alberta from the impacts of invasive species. We can protect our waters and help to keep Alberta invasive mussel free. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now pass over to the question and answer period of this press conference. Media in the room can line up just at the mic right there. Seeing no questions in the room and there are no questions on the phone, that concludes today's press conference. Thank you, everyone.